Imagine that somewhere beyond everything we can see, there exists another universe. Not just another galaxy or another part of space, but an entire universe separated from ours, with its own stars, its own galaxies, and perhaps even its own forms of life. Some theories of modern physics suggest that this could be possible. The idea is called the multiverse, and according to some versions of this theory, our universe could be just one bubble in an ocean of other universes. Normally, these bubbles never touch and remain separate forever. But what would happen if two parallel universes suddenly merged into one? At first, no one would notice it immediately. Space is so large that even an enormous cosmic change could begin very far away from us. But on a cosmic scale, the merger would be something extremely violent. When two universes begin to overlap, their fundamental structures begin to come into conflict. Each universe could have slightly different physical constants. The strength of gravity could be a little stronger or weaker. Particles could have different masses, and even the laws of chemistry might not be exactly the same. When these two systems of laws meet, space itself could become unstable. In the zones of contact between the two universes, gigantic waves of energy would form, far more powerful than any supernova ever observed. Entire galaxies could be distorted by the new geometry of space. Some regions could expand faster, while others could compress. If in the second universe there were stars and planets similar to ours, these structures would slowly begin to appear in our sky. At first, they would seem like strange galaxies that do not follow normal cosmic movements. But as time passes, astronomers would realize that something impossible is happening. New galaxies would literally be entering our reality. At this point, the gravity of the two universes would begin to mix. Clusters of galaxies would be deviated from their orbits, and some could collide with each other. But the strangest effect could concern the laws of physics. If the fundamental constants of the two universes were not identical, regions could be created where matter can no longer exist normally. Atoms could become unstable, or chemical reactions could change completely. In some zones, the universe could become more energetic, with particles behaving in ways we have never seen. In other zones, matter could slowly disintegrate, because the local laws of physics would no longer allow particles to stay together. For living beings, this would probably be catastrophic. If the region where Earth is located were crossed by a zone with different physical laws, the chemistry of our body could stop working. The molecules that form cells might no longer remain stable. However, a less destructive scenario is also possible. If the two universes had very similar laws, they could slowly merge, forming a larger universe. In this case, the merger would be more similar to the collision between two galaxies. It would be chaotic, but not necessarily destructive everywhere. Over time, the cosmic structures of the two universes would begin to mix. New galaxies would be born from the merger of the old ones, and space would become much larger. In the sky, we could see completely new regions full of stars that never existed before. But the most disturbing consequence could concern ourselves. If the other universe were truly parallel to ours, it could contain alternative versions of Earth and even alternative versions of us. When the two universes merge, these cosmic copies could suddenly exist in the same cosmic space. Not necessarily at the same point, but in the same universe. In theory, there could exist another planet Earth with a slightly different history that now shares the same universe as ours. In the end, after millions or billions of years, the merger would stabilize. The laws of physics would find a new balance, and a single larger and more complex universe would be born. For living beings that would survive long enough, the night sky would be completely different from what we know today. Galaxies coming from two different universes would shine in the same space, as if two separate cosmic stories had joined into one. And even if for us it would be impossible to understand which part of the sky originally belonged to our universe and which to the other, one thing would be certain. The universe we live in would no longer be the same. It would be the fusion of two different realities, a new cosmos born from the meeting of two entire universes.